Have you heard that faith without works is dead? How about when Jesus was challenged to find out what works do we need to do to get into heaven? Jesus' answer at that point in time was, work that you need to do is to believe in the Son of God, that God sent his Son into the world to save sinners. You need to believe. So work is believing. Believing is working. Hi, I'm Dr. Pat Kennedy, and I am the owner and doctor for Kennedy Spine and Sport in Sterling, Virginia. And I am currently working with John Miserak at Ignite Purpose, who's helping me to transform my practice into something that has purpose, and it is exciting. I've been a practicing chiropractor for 32 years, and I'm doing things that are just exciting and I'm passionate about, and I can't thank John Miserak enough. I think hopefully I'm going to be able to meet some of you someday, but I just was talking with John and shared this story in a men's group that talks about work and belief. What is it? Do we have to, faith without works and all that stuff? And so all of us guys were chatting it up, and it reminded me of a story. My son, who he looks up to his dad, and now he's grown and married, but when he was a kid, I swam at the University of Florida on scholarship for 4 years back in the 80s, and that was my whole life, was swimming. And then I got married and had children, and my son, who looked up to me, wanted to be a swimmer just like his dad, and he wanted to go to the University of Florida and swim and be a Gator just like his dad. And so he started swimming. I actually wanted him to be a basketball player or soccer player or do something else, because swimming is a brutal sport. It's very lonely. You got your head in the water the whole time. You have to swim before school and after school and do a lot of running and lifting weights and stretching, and it's a whole thing, and it's year round. There's like no vacation. So I didn't want that for my son, but that's what he wanted. So he was a hard worker, and as his dad, I was getting up at 4:15 in the morning, taking him to swim practice, and supporting him the best I could. And believe it or not, well, I'm 5'10". My son ended up being 6'4". So I was a little jealous because, taller swimmers seem to be faster. So I had to really work hard. So I'm thinking, this kid's got good genes. He's a hard worker. He's so tall. He's handsome and smart. But he wasn't reaching the level that he needed to be able to get the eyes and ears of the University of Florida. So he was getting close, I think junior, senior year in high school, and he was like, Dad, I want to swim at the University of Florida. And I'm like, well, you can do it, buddy. I mean, he could do it. He was talented enough. All the coaches thought he could do it enough. He was hard, he did all the work. He was ready. But something was missing. And so anyway, I called up the coach at the University of Florida, and I knew him. He knew me from swimming days, but he wasn't my coach. And I told him, I said, hey, look, I got a son. He's 6'4". He's a butterflyer. He's a good swimmer. He said, well, what are his times? So if you don't know swimming, you probably wouldn't understand this, but he was swimming 1 minute and 51 seconds for 200 butterfly, which is good. It's good. But the coach told me, he said, well, we're not going to look at him until he goes 147. Now, in swimming terms, that is a mile. I mean, it's impossible in a year's time to really come close to dropping something like that, especially a junior, senior in high school. So I didn't tell my son that, but I asked the coach, I said, hey, my son really can do this. I said, what would do him a lot of good is, could you write him a letter and say that you're looking at him and send him maybe a Gator t-shirt? And he said, oh yeah, Pat, I could do that. So it was exciting. The package came to the house. He put a swim cap in there and a water bottle, a couple other things, and a t-shirt. University of Florida. I think he even sent him a towel. My son was elated. He was so excited. There was one more swim meet left of the year, and this was where he was going to have to do this time, or else he wasn't going to be able to get an offer to go to University of Florida. So he goes to the meet, and I'm so nervous, and I just don't think it's possible. I mean, to drop 4 seconds in such a short amount of time is just not possible. Well, my son gets on the blocks. He wears his Gator t-shirt up to the blocks, and wouldn't you know it, he swims a 1:47. Like, this is crazy. So when he gets out of the pool and we go and celebrate, and that night I said, "Hey Ben, what happened?" And he said, "Dad, when I put that t-shirt on, I believed that I was a University of Florida swimmer." And he said, "So I just did it because I believed it." And I was like, oh my gosh, is this not the gospel? When we hear that, well, you got to read your Bible more, you got to be in church and ministry, and you got to do all these good deeds, and all those things are wonderful, and you should do those, and you should be in men's Bible studies and women's Bible studies and accountability groups. You should do all the work. You got to do the work. My son did the work, but he didn't believe. So the key here is, in this lesson, is that do the work. Faith and works and belief all go hand in hand. So, Jesus Christ did die for each one of us. But if we don't believe that, we can't receive it. So this is my message to everybody. Work hard, set goals, but you have to believe. Believe that you've already achieved the goal. Believe that who God says you are. God created you individually with a purpose and special. And if he takes every bit of energy to make a snowflake different, every single snowflake different, you're much more important than a snowflake. So I'm here to encourage you that you need to spend the time believing. Believe in yourself. Believe in the people that are around you. Surround yourself with belief. Believe that God says that you are his child. And go after every single one of your goals and work hard. So thank you for listening. God bless you. I'm Dr. Pat Kennedy, and have a wonderful day.